Should be live. Looks like we're live. I'm growing. It's a growth phase. Yeah, a growth phase. That's right. That's why I have grow lights. We've got lots of plants growing in the living room, including, yeah, potatoes. Yeah, potatoes. Love growing potatoes in the, you know, cold months, the winter months, whatever you want to call it. Let us know if you're growing any crops in the old homestead while we wait for people to join the stream. If you're viewing in syndication, press share anyway, even if it's not live, because your friends and foes will see the videos then. That's good, right? We like when your friends and foes see the content. So today, after about 40 miles on the bike yesterday, completed an easy Zone 2 run with fluorescent colors. So that's an upgrade. That's better than flying colors. Fluorescent colors are like the next step up. So that, folks, is how you kick ass and take names. You got to do the hard workouts, the easy workouts, the non-workouts, and of course, the rest being the most important thing of all. Check it out. I got the mountain bike upstairs in the studio because it's inspiring. My mountain bike inspires me. The first bike I ever loved. So it's super exciting, the prospect for 2026, because it's going to be a hell of a year. Pennsylvania is not going to be able to contain me. The mountains that we have here are not quite big enough. The course is not quite hard enough. So now I don't know what's been going on with space weather. So if you've been keeping up to it over the weekend, let us know in the comments. Because you may know more about it than I do, at least in the past couple of days. So let's see what's up. I know there were some active sunspot regions rising, which is always what we like to see, since the channel is primarily space weather content. So I'm going to put some imagery on the screen here for you. And then I'm going to gather some additional info. Oh, we had a big solar flare just a little while ago here. At 10:10 Universal Time, we had an M5 flare. So I'm sure that's from the Eastern Limb region. And we'll show you that next. All right. So we're going to show 94 angstroms here because that's one of the ionized iron wavelengths that are good at showing flares. And you can see the aftermath of this thing right up there on that northeastern limb. So yeah, an exciting and very active region rising here, moving the needle on what's up with space weather. So bear with me a minute here. Again, folks, press the share button, press like. I'm going to be right back here. I just got to do a little bit of a wardrobe adjustment, and then I'll come and talk all about space, Earth, and maybe even some news stories. So if you've got some you'd like commented on, leave it in the comments and we'll consider it. Be right back. Again, press share, like, and if you're new, press subscribe. To the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. So when we say we're the least busted name in news, we ain't blowing smoke up your buttholes. Because here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal, to quote Joe Biden. The line between misrepresentation and fraud is literally intent. So as a licensed insurance agent, I'm well aware of what fraud is. We all have to be insured against it, and so on. The line between misrepresentation and fraud is intent. And what I mean by that is you might misrepresent material facts, let's say, because you believe them, in which case you're a charlatan. However, if you intentionally misrepresent material facts, you're a fraud. So that's, and basically, if you commit fraud in writing, ooh, there's a paper trail. So not recommended. Anyway, let's talk space weather stats here. Currently, we've got this active region rising, which is exciting. And we can see CMEs associated with it, it looks like. But let's talk stats before my voice gives out. First, and I'm very fatigued, folks, not feeling very well. I mean, the amount of stress that I've been under is just otherworldly. It's otherworldly, and it's not really, I don't deserve it. I'll just say that. I don't deserve the amount of stress I'm under. But frauds deserve more stress. Anyway, you can see we don't have any new forecasts for Earth-directed CMEs here from University Reading. So let's move on to sunspot number. Sunspot number here climbing rapidly into the month of November, reaching all the way down to, we were down to 20 sunspots there, but now way back up. Well, we'll be way back up when that active region rises. You can have as many as 80 to 100 sunspots in one active region. So that's what we like to see. Some more sunspots and flares. Solar flares are always good for space weather. And the 10.7 centimeter radial flux is at 123. 123 solar flux units is the 10.7. As far as incoming space weather goes, no major space weather on the forecast from NOAA, as you can see here. Calm conditions expected based on current phenomena. Solar wind conditions are nominal here, about 450 kilometers a second, 1.6 protons per cubic centimeter. Not exciting. Couple little proton events here in the past 3 days. They are minor SEPs. Only the low energy particles really showed a measurable spike. That's the greater than or equal to 10 million electron volts proton flux, as measured by the GOES 18. If you're wondering where it is, it's at about 23,000 miles of altitude. Here's that flare we talked about, M5. An M5 flare, folks. The likelihood of an X-class flare is certainly there, so don't be surprised to see larger solar flares. We're excited about it. And we see comments here. Let me give you folks a moment to comment and so forth while I get this stream live on the PC. Be right back. I'll be right here. I'll be right here. Let us know if you've found signs of intelligent life anywhere. We're always interested in signs of intelligent life. Less so about dumb fucks. I mean, those are less interesting than intelligent life. Let's just say that. Yeah, let's say that. Let's be vague. Let's be vague, shall we? Just kidding, folks. It's a space weather dictatorship on this channel, so. All right, so, and part of my voice, I'm battling pharyngitis. I had, the week before last, I had the flu. Last week, and I kicked its ass, by the way, with no kind of intervention besides let food be thy drugs and drugs be thy food, and rest, of course. I got a secondary infection, and this is standard, so it's all gone. I just have like what amounts to an injury, so that's on its way out. It often ends with pharyngitis with me. It's just, it is what it is. It ain't no big deal. Feeling good, smelling better. Least busted name in news. Hello, Rad Norin. You must be a silver surfer. You can refer to me as Galactus for the rest of this stream. Does that sound good? Cheers. All right, so yeah, got some flares. It's exciting. Love to see it. And don't forget to visit our homepage at smashomash.com. I'll put it in the chat for you. Visit us on quote, socials, end quote. The reason it's in quote is because social media is extremely antisocial, and maybe you should consider installing the Don't Die app. You know, the Don't Die app? Yeah, you ever heard of it? If not, I don't know what to tell you, except don't die. Now's a great time in human history to not die. Continuing right along, maybe that's too controversial. And we've got some old data here. Let me press refresh. So it looks like we did have a couple of CMEs here, coronal mass ejections. Those do not appear to be earthly directed. Moving on. Oh, we do see some perturbations here in the Boulder magnetometer. So some minor magnetic field fluctuations there being measured in Boulder. If you're panicked about that, there may be no hope for you. No, just kidding, folks. Ignorance is the root of all knowledge. Ignorance. Yeah, ignorance. You got to not know a thing before you know a thing. And we hope you're not out there learning the hard way. All right, so there's our solar magnetogram from El Teide, Spain. See that active region rising up there in your screen, upper left, which would be the northeastern limb. There are some better sunspots showing up here. So for that, we thank you, El Sol. Let us know if you think the sun watches our channel. Just the world's most comprehensive daily space weather coverage. No big deal. Hey, Rad Norin. I love the name, by the way. You like the news reports? Well, cheers. Yeah, Stefan Burns. Yeah, he goes a little off track, all right. He goes way off track into pseudoscience, and he tells people that aren't true about space weather. So that's a problem. Not a fan of Mr. Burns. We get a lot of Mr. Burns's fans showing up here and making claims that aren't true. For example, Schumann resonances. They're not space weather. Anyway, not endorsing Stefan Burns. He is a grifter who sells a bunch of nonsensical crap. Yeah, Stefan is not doing science. Like, if you're, put it this way, if you're basing your crypto investments on whether or not Mercury is in retrograde, based on the kind of stuff that Stefan says on Twitter, you shouldn't be investing. That's nonsense. All right, so we got lots of solar filaments on the other side of the disk as well. Several of these warrant names. This one up here. This one here has already been named. This is the Bob Lehman filament. So if this one blasts off, this is the most likely filament to cause a geomagnetic storm right now. So fingers crossed for the Bob Lehman filament. We've already named it on Twitter. Follow us on x.com/smashomash. Tag us in your post. Tell us which filament you'd like to name. You know, put an arrow, a finger or something. And then, yeah, you can name a filament. Just hashtag name that filament. Tag me in the post. And we'll repost your tweet. Naming your favorite solar filament after your friends, your foes, or even yourself. Let's take a look at the line of sight field plot here for once. Here the solar B field is depicted in blue. You can think of the solar B field as sort of the net field out of the sun. It's sort of like an interaction between the north and south poles. Meanwhile, we've got these open field lines that you can see in here. Those are the polar fields as they make their migration throughout the solar cycle, the sunspot cycle. We do have North Pole-oriented coronal holes rotating out over here on the west, South Pole-oriented coronal holes rotating in here from the east. As far as our magnetic sector goes, Earth is currently in a South Pole-oriented sector, as shown here. And if you think that's going to cause doomsday, then you should learn about physics, astrophysics, cosmology, space weather, etc. No sector boundary crossing anytime soon. But Stereo B may be detecting a North Pole-oriented coronal hole here anytime. So don't be surprised to see some green popping up if you follow this data. And we hope you understand what it means. Next is our GOES electron flux, and we're into warning levels once again here. So expect major GPS errors. And here's your ionosphere map of the previous day. How you like that? We'll also show the anomaly map. So there's the ionosphere in vibrational frequency. You're looking at megahertz there, are what are depicted by those colors. And like we said, was it on Friday? Friday? The South Atlantic anomaly is back up here in the Pacific Ocean again. So we covered it moving up here about a year and a half ago. And now it's back out in the Pacific Ocean again. So it's normally somewhere around here over the south central portion of the South American continent. And now you can clearly see that it is 100% right there. So South Atlantic anomaly has moved almost exactly to the equator. If that spooks you, then I don't know what to tell you, but it's not dangerous. South Atlantic anomaly does affect satellites. It causes them to use more fuel, for example. But if you think the South Atlantic anomaly is going to kill you, it's definitely not. Let's show the sun here in... Excuse me. Let's show the sun here in 304 angstroms. Probably the best wavelength for oohs and ahs, because it's great at showing solar filaments. As you can see, there's a big one, big prominence popping off just in the past couple of hours there. And that's what's depicted by the GOES 19 SUVI, by the way, about 2.5 hours of the closest star. Press that like button if you're viewing the video. I see 10 viewers and 1 like. I mean, are you a person that doesn't use a turn signal? Like, what the hell? You can't press like? If you haven't pressed like yet, press share. What's up with that? Like, help the channel out. You think making these videos is free? It's super expensive. All right. Yeah, I know. It's free for you to watch them. It's not free for us to make them. Anyway, shall we talk regular old everyday news stories? I think we should. Let's see if any more tariffs have been repealed. What do you say, folks? How many tariffs do you think have been repealed today? How much nonsense are you hearing about tariffs being beneficial to the economy today? How much nonsense are you propagating on the internet about tariffs being positive for the U.S. service-based economy today? Are you a fan of inflation? Do you like when the Fed lowers interest rates? Is that because you like higher prices for things? Do you understand how money works? Do you realize that when money gets printed, that everybody's money goes down in value and legal tender laws are a hidden tax on all of us? Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. And that's why they're economically illiterate. At least some of the reasons. Anyway, let's see what's going on in news stories. Meanwhile, let's view the sun from a little bit more holistic perspective, shall we? There we go. All right, so what's going on? George Clooney explains why Kamala Harris running for president was a mistake. Wow, who would have guessed? Instagram has deleted the account of Britney Spears. Good business move there, Meta. Britney Spears' account is too alarming. So Meta has decided to delete Britney Spears' Instagram account. Way to go, Mark. Wow. Hey, Mark, how are all those investments in AI treating you? How's your share price, Mark? Doing as good as Microsoft? Investing billions in AI compute? Wow, you must be a pioneer in unintelligence. Mark, you're adorable, Mark. Let us know when you and Elon are going to step into the octagon, or is his neck still hurting? Oh, his neck, oh no. Elon's poor neck, oh no. Elon versus Mark Zuckerberg. It's a cage match of censorship. Everything you can censor, I can censor better. I can censor everything better than you. Living paycheck to paycheck is way easier with Trump. How and why? Living paycheck to paycheck is easier with Trump. You sound like a cultist. Can anybody tell us what a cult is? Cults are organizations where they have a living leader believe nonsense and the implications are harmful. There are so many. Doomsday cults, Trump cults, TDS cults, Elon Musk cults, AI cults. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's an endless number of cultists. An endless number of cultists, folks. It's pretty pathetic. But when weak-minded people get weak ideas from confident charlatans or full-on frauds, they often believe them. See, it's the problem of charisma. You've got people that look and sound confident, saying nonsense confidently, and then people just go, it must be true. He sounds like he's not lying. It's adorable. Ice raids continue. And let's talk finance. Let's talk finance for the most economically illiterate of you. Finance. People think the stock market equals the economy, except it doesn't. Things are cheaper. All right, your grocery bill went down, gas is down. Don't take a rocket scientist to see it. Okay. Hey, if your personal experience is better, great. Too bad the overall economy is much, much worse under Trump. I mean, just to give you a personal anecdote from me, it took me less than a week to discover scarcity of a thing that I could no longer buy. And I had to pay 3 times as much for it within 1 week of tariffs. So, I mean, look, I've just canceled out your anecdotal reports. Tariffs lose more jobs than they create. So there's that. Anyway, in financial news, global auto stocks rally as China says it will consider Nexperia chip export exemptions. Got to have those exemptions for your corporate cronies, folks, because tariffs are cronyism. If you don't know what cronyism is, well, you should, because you live in a plutocracy. Do you know what a plutocracy is? A plutocracy is ruled by the rich. See, they look out for their rich friends and they screw over their non-rich friends. See, that's the way it works. They don't know about your grocery bill or your gas bill, and they don't care about it. The reason people run for office is because they can't make it in private business, they can't control their own lives, and they want to control yours. That's what a politician is. That's why I'm critical of all of them. Berkshire Hathaway up 34% on earnings. Buffett's not increasing any stock positions. And I don't blame him. Especially NASDAQ stocks, because the NASDAQ is currently in the biggest bubble that's ever been in the NASDAQ. When I say bubble, I'm talking price to earnings ratios. If you know what they are, it's very simple. It's the price of the stock divided by the earnings. The stocks in the NASDAQ are shockingly overvalued, even more than they were in 1997. So, plan accordingly. This is not investing advice, folks. However, I've heard from, institutional investors that you should buy low and sell high. The pioneers in AI are pioneers in UI. The only thing that's I is the A. It's artificial. It's not intelligence. It's a word describing computer code as intelligence. Understand the difference. Like, look up the word intelligence in the dictionary. The AI that you can use to make a video or an image of Donald Trump riding a bike on the caldera of a volcano, that's not intelligence. That's computer code, just like all the rest of the computer code. Hey, Treasury Secretary Bessent says SNAP food benefits could restart by Wednesday. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? I mean, the urban areas of the U.S. are probably very safe right now. What do you think? You want to go grocery shopping in New York today, folks? How about grocery shopping in Portland? Does that sound fun? That's right. There's nothing intelligent about it. Nothing. It's just more code. These companies are automating things that could have been automated since the 1980s. And now they're tooting their own horn like, we're pioneers in AI. The AI revolution starts with us. What a joke. Yeah, I'm rarely wrong. I'm rarely wrong. Like, when I talk confidently, you know why that is? Confidence. Anyway, let's talk Earth weather because these news stories are boring. So, what's going on in the U.S.? Well, the great snapshot that we like to show is the water vapor map. I love it. It's so simple. It shows the moist air. It shows the dry air. And it gives me a snapshot in a way that only such a map could. I mean, look at how great that is. Like, you've got access to so much information, folks. And if you just understand junior high physics, you can forecast your weather, at least for your local area, better than your local meteorologist, probably. Anyway, that's what's going on. The entire southern part of the country is dominated by dry air. We've got some Pacific moisture here coming in through San Diego and Tijuana and so forth. And it looks like a rainy day coming to Vegas, I suspect. Although there is a dry air there that's a weird low pressure zone. It's like, here, let me show you the pressure map. There's a funky thing going on there. And it has to do with the desert and the Pacific. So here, I'm going to show the jet streams first, just because that's another great snapshot. But the water vapor map does tell us about the jet stream if we understand how weather works. So here is the U.S., here is air, here is 250 hectopascal winds. So that's what's going on with the jet stream, roughly. You know, roughly, just the way your mother likes it. Is your mother worried? Would you like us to assign someone to worry your mother? Excuse me. Excuse me. Anyway, these are the surface winds. And you can see there's a strong southeasterly flow here, flow from the southeast here, from the southwest to the northeast here over the Great Lakes. Look at that. Lake Michigan has some shocking winds right now. It's a bad time at Mackinac Island. The winds are blowing 60 miles an hour here over Lake Michigan. Look at that. There's a place to not be on a boat. Dag. That's a mess. You could find yourself very dead in this area right here. You ever hear of this? This right here, this is the Great Lakes Triangle. This right here. This is no joke. Actually, I guess it's even bigger than that. I think it's like all of this. Yeah, the Great Lakes Triangle. It's about 1 trillion times deadlier than the Bermuda Triangle ever was. But yeah, let's look at this scenario here over over Nevada, because I want to show you the pressure gradients. It looks like an anticyclone right here, but it's really not. It's actually a weird low. And you can see there's only a small pressure gradient. But if you look at the satellite, the skies are going to be dead clear. This is really dry air right here. So even though there are clouds, it's very dry. There should be a temperature gradient too. Only a little bit cooler there in that dry area. Of course, the ground is still losing heat, because nighttime. So there's the humidity, and it's a great example there of moist versus dry. And let's show the visible satellite over the cloud tops. And close this mother out. With some more solar imagery, of course. What do you expect? So there is your East Coast sunrise in all of its cloud top glory. And before we close this out, just a quick reminder to press the like button. Now we've got 18 viewers and 2 likes. Damn, you're the kind of people that don't use a turn signal, right? It's like you're driving along, I'm going to turn, but I got to reach all the way down here and move a lever? I don't know. I don't think I can do it. Anyway, we move the lever on space weather. You should move the lever like the share button and the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Or you might miss videos just like this and watch nonsense instead. There's plenty of it on YouTube to go around. Here's the closest star for the past couple of hours. We're going to press mute, let the chat run for a few minutes here, and then call it a day. Thanks for tuning into the Smash News Network, least busted name in news, by the way. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-O-Mash, signing off. I'm an avowed anti-dentite. And until next time, may that solar wind be at your back. Thanks, Rad Norin. May the surfing be silver.